MMA Now, powered by Film On TV Network.
I'm David Cannon with Film On TV's MMA Now, and right now I'm joined with UFC strawweight contender Jessica Penne. Jessica, how are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Well, a few months ago I talked to you. You said you wanted to be on UFC 199. It's kind of like your backyard in a way. How'd you get on that card?
I bugged Sean Shelby repeatedly and threatened to come down to his office, and he ended up giving me what I wanted.
It was one of those or else's.
It was very much so.
Now, does that add pressure to you being that it is near your hometown?
No, not at all. I mean, there's pressure anywhere you go, wherever you fight. There's always going to be pressure. It's what you make of it. But I just didn't want to travel. I wanted to be in my own backyard, and the area's familiar. I get to, be around great people and have everybody come to the fight. So it's just where I wanted to be.
Now, you train out of Alliance in San Diego, but you've been all over the place in LA, Orange County, Huntington Beach, Diamond Bar. What do you consider home?
I mean, home is where the heart is, to be cheesy. But I can be happy and comfortable wherever I'm at. So I made the move from Orange County down to Chula Vista and made Alliance my new home.
Now, you said it doesn't matter where you go to go fight. You were in Germany, though. Was that flight, was it harder making was it 18, 10-hour flight out there compared to just a trip up the 405 and 5?
I mean, I'd definitely much rather, drive to the fight just a couple hours. And the flight to Berlin, the whole trip was pretty exhausting. I mean, the jet lag that I experienced was pretty awful. But, I mean, it is what it is.
Now, you've been doing some stuff on air. How have you liked that, and what else have you been up to in the past almost year?
I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of episodes on UFC Now. They have me on, their panel and calling me back, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. And I've just been, trying to grow into the strawweight division. I'm coming up from atomweight, so it's a pretty big adjustment for me. But I'm definitely making great strides and feeling much better with the weight class.
And how do you like doing the analysis and being on camera more?
I really enjoy it. I mean, I'm a communications major, so it's not far from what I want to do.
Now, for people that aren't familiar with LA and fights going down at the Forum, what's one or two places you would suggest people in the LA County area to go try if they've never been here before?
I mean, there's so many places. I mean, there's great beaches all up and down the coast from, San Diego to LA County. So, I mean, I love the beaches. You can check out anything, really. It's just a great area. There's so much to do.
Now, I've seen pictures of your dog on Instagram. It's a pretty big dog, but then are you a pro animal advocate? Because you say it's more about how people raise their animals compared to the animals attacking people. Is that right?
Well, I mean, along with Ludo's breed, there comes a lot of stigmas, and I just think it really is the way you raise your animals. And, you can have a vicious golden retriever if you don't treat it right. You can have a vicious anything, just like people. Sometimes they're victims of their circumstance.
Now, as far as this training camp goes, how has it been for you? Any ups, downs, trials?
Well, of course, there's ups and downs in any camp, emotional, physical, mental. There's all sorts of ups and downs. There's no perfect camp. And if you have a perfect camp, I don't think you're training hard enough, really. There's always ups and downs, but you always push through and make it to the end and do what you got to do.
Now, you also have a couple other teammates fighting. I've talked to other camps where they say they wouldn't want to fight on the same card where another teammate is because it's stressful on them because they just want to concentrate on their fight when there's three of you on UFC 199. What is that? Does that play into your emotions that maybe your teammate is going out there and it takes away maybe from your fight?
No, not at all. I mean, we're all getting ready for battle together. We're all going to war together. So I think it's extremely motivating to have that great energy inside the gym and to really push each other and, look beside you and see your partner pushing themselves, and it makes you want to push harder. It's a really great environment down at Alliance. I love the team mentality. I love, the coaching staff. Everybody's just always really supportive of each other. So I think it's amazing that I get to, go into battle with my teammates.
Right. And your last fight was for the title against Joanna. What are your plans in the strawweight division? You said you were the atomweight champion in Invicta, where you're coming up 10 pounds, which the girls are a lot bigger and cutting down. And you said now you're acclimating to that weight. Do you have a time plan of making sure your body's at a certain point before you get back right into the title contention, or what do you see your career in the next year or so?
Just keep pressing forward and just trying to better myself every single day. Yes, coming from atom weight to straw weight is a big gap, but with time and hard work, I'll bridge that gap, and I'll just keep getting better and better and evolving.
There's been some rumors that there's going to be a 125 women's division. If the UFC ever opened up a 105 division, would you go back down?
I love 105. However, I can't really think about that. I just have to focus on my goal, and that's becoming the best strawweight I can possibly be. If that does happen in the future, I'll tackle it when that happens. I do think the next weight class is going to be the flyweight. They're having a trial bout with it with two of the females, and I think it'll be really successful, especially with the USADA testing and all of the weight restrictions that they're doing with hydration and all of that kind of stuff. I think it's really important that the UFC opens the doors for the flyweight division for the females, just for health. And I think there are enough females in the bantamweight division and in the strawweight division that are cutting or going up. I think there's enough females to make that weight class.
That's far you said talk about females like there's going to be the first 125 bout. Cyborg obviously was a big news coming in and doing a super fight at 140. What are your thoughts on that? And someone coming from Invicta over and then going back to defend her title.
I think it's amazing that Cyborg was finally given the opportunity to fight for the UFC. I think it's great that they're doing catch weights. I want to see more catch weights. She's an exciting fighter. Yes, she is a 145er. I don't know that she'll ever be able to make 135, but I think that doing, kind of super fights and catch weights, I think that's really exciting. I think she's a big draw, and I think she brings a lot to the UFC, and I love having her here.
Now, the big news lately, well, I guess not the big news, but for the past month plus, has been the whole McGregor-Mayweather talk with boxing and MMA. Is this, some people are on different sides of the fence, like this is absolutely ridiculous, and other people are saying, well, this is great, it's cross-promotion. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think, it's always exciting to talk about cross-promotion, having exciting fights and exciting matchups such as that. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but it's always fun to speculate.
Is that something that you would ever do? Do something else like a boxing match or a straight jiu-jitsu match? I know your background is wrestling and jiu-jitsu, or is MMA something that you just stay specific to?
Well, MMA is its own entity. It's very different from traditional boxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. It's its own entity, and everything that we train for is specifically for MMA. So if I were to do that, I would have to give all of my attention to that specific sport. I love jiu-jitsu. It's where I come from, but I'm not competing at jiu-jitsu because it's a completely different game. It's a completely different style. I can't do the same things, in jiu-jitsu that I can do in MMA. So if I were to do that, which, I would love to in the future, however, I can't give it the attention that it deserves at this point in time.
Now, as far as teammates, Alliance, there's a lot of fighters that come out there, pro and some amateurs coming up. What are your feelings on teammates fighting each other? Obviously, you saw Andrei Arlovsky, Alistair Overeem face up, but then you have like AK where those guys will never face each other.
I mean, I think it just comes up to, the fighter and their camp and, making that decision. I try and steer clear of it. I had to fight, teammates and friends on The Ultimate Fighter, and I'd like to avoid that in the future. However, it is what it is. It's the business, and we're all after the same thing, so eventually may have to meet each other. I personally, it's not a route that I'd like to go, but if I have to do it, I'll do it.
Now, just closing out, some quick hitter questions that maybe some things that people don't know about you. What's your favorite color?
Black.
What's your favorite food to eat?
Sushi.
Superman or Batman?
Ooh, Batman.
Is there name one person that you, in the UFC or MMA, that you don't like?
Justine Kish.
And what?
I'm just kidding. I love her.
One person,
but not really. I don't at all.
One person you like, the person you most admire like a lot in the UFC.
Honestly, there are so many. There's so many people in every division that I just really admire, and I've been looking up to them, before women were allowed into the UFC. So I have huge respect to all of the athletes.
So it's not just Tinkish want to be the girl that you look up, the person you look up to most. What was your favorite subject? You're a communications major. What was your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject was art or biology. I really liked biology a lot.
What's one thing that makes you really nervous?
That girl over there.
Justine Quiche. Well, it's like a round tripper. And then maybe one thing that's not too secretive that maybe most people don't know about you, a hobby or something you like to do, line dancing that I never knew about.
Well, you just answered that
Oh, I know,
question
so
for me.
So you got to say something else.
So yeah, I do like land dancing. Something that people don't know about me. I'm a huge animal lover. I don't know if people know that or not.
Well, you just said you had the dog, so
Well, that just means I like dogs.
okay. So
Or my dog.
Is a dog your favorite? Is that your favorite animal?
I mean, yeah. It's my favorite
Well,
animal.
it could be a tiger or.
I mean, I
killer
really
whale.
like platypi. I think they're awesome animals. Have you ever seen something so cute as platypus?
Have you ever seen a platypus in real life?
Yeah,
You have.
yeah.
Where?
At the zoo.
Okay. I thought you were going to start talking about like Phineas and Ferb.
What?
Phineas and Ferb, the Disney cartoon. They have a platypus that's.
No.
Anyways, that's UFC strawweight Jessica Penne, who's making her debut in LA in the UFC because you fought here before against Jessica Andrade. So make sure you check it out. Fox Sports 1, Jessica Penne.